Hi, everybody. Here we are again with another segment of Digging Deeper with Dan. And as some of you might know, we're doing some work around the house and doing some renovations. And we bought my parents' house, so we're kind of in between with their stuff and our stuff. So tonight's segment is this shed here behind me. And some of the stuff in that shed is ours, but a lot of it is Mom and Dad's. So tonight's segment is called What's in Mom and Dad's Shed? So here we go. We're going to open this shed and see what we can find. Now we're actually going to be replacing this shed. The doors scrape on the ground when you open it, and the shed's probably about 45 or 46 years old, and it's starting to sink into the ground. The floor in this shed is made up of the original picket fence that was around this house about 50 years ago, and it's starting to rot out underneath. Maybe I can show you a picture of that after. Anyway, let's start off with what's in here, and I think you can see in the on camera there we've got a toy ATV. Now that wasn't my mom and dad's, that actually belonged to my sons. So let's pull that out and we'll go from there. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, let's see what else we can find. And we got a wet dry vacuum cleaner hose in here. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of one of those storage shows where they go in and they find out what's in the storage unit. See if there's anything of value. Who knows? Maybe we'll find something of value in here tonight. Weed whacker. That's pretty cool. Bird bath top. I hope the bottom's still there. Goes inside a paper yard bag and acts as a frame to keep the paper yard bag open. So you open the bag up, stick this inside, and then it pops out, and now you can get all your leaves and your sticks and whatever else you're putting in there in the bag because of this hoop. So we'll hang on to this because this is something we can probably use. This is the base for our bird bath. Looks like it could use a good cleaning, but it's a good thing that we're touching base right now. What else is in this shed? We got twins. We got another weed whacker. I'm going to bring this closer to the camera so that you can see what it is. It's a hammer on this really long handle. It works. I've never seen this before, but I think I'm going to hang on to this for a little while. Judging by the stick, though, I don't think it's going to last for very long. The stick's looking kind of worn out. And one good hit with this, and it'll probably end up beating me off the top of the head. Nothing like hammering in the point, though. This is a rechargeable hedge trimmer. I wonder if we have the charger for it. And a pitchfork, dating back to the early 20th century, no doubt. Look at the handle on that. Take note of this. Wooden handle and wooden stick. The forks are metal, though. That's an old pitchfork. Did you get the point with that pitchfork? Sounds like sleigh bells, but it's actually meant for weeding a garden. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little pointy wheels on it that look like throwing stars. And you just roll that baby across the ground. and it pulls the weeds out of the garden. I don't know how it distinguishes between weeds and regular plants, but here it is. Now, this car wash brush here, you can see how short the bristles are on it. See there? This car wash brush has been around almost as long as I have. I remember my dad washing the car when I was a kid with this very same car wash brush. It still feels pretty good. Nowadays you buy a car wash brush and they just last a couple of years and then fall apart. But this one's still in pretty good shape. Near as I can tell, this is an edger. Wooden handle on it. Still in good shape. We're gonna keep this one. You see now, I like to live on the edge, so I'm gonna keep the edger. Now I remember seeing these when I was a kid. There was at least two of them that I can remember, and it's got multiple claws on it, and you use it for raking up a garden and getting the weeds out. It's kind of like the thing with the wheels, but you got to do the work yourself with this one. So again, an old garden implement. And we got another edger. Could double as an ice scraper. It's pretty old. And a garden hoe. Very nice. This one looks a little newer. The handle looks a little bit more modern, but the end looks like it's been busy in concrete. But make no mistake, this is a garden hoe. Now this here is a bulb planter. You put your bulb in the middle, push it in the ground, and in the ground the bulb goes, and eventually the bulb will grow into a plant of some sort. And this here is for the base for a deck support. So you screw this into the other support, and this supports the board like that in there. Can always use lots of support, so I know where to go for support if I need it. Now this is mine. This is a push lawnmower. For those kids out there that don't know what this is, this little thing spins around here like this and cuts the grass when you push it on the ground. No power, no gas, no electric. Very environmentally friendly. Now this here was holding all of the garden tools that I brought out there. Sits in the corner, has holes in it. I might even wash that off and keep it and use it again. I hope you're not like me right now and getting bored. Did you ever see Al Capone's vault with Geraldo Rivera? And they went digging for Al Capone's vault, and they opened it up and there was nothing in it. I kind of feel like that. Lots of wood, 2x4, some steaks, not some barbecue steaks, but some wooden steaks. Not sure what they're for. Well, I can't go bungee jumping with this one because it's pretty stretch, but it was once a good bungee cord. My son says that I have dad jokes, and I guess you're getting some of my good ones and some of my not so good dad jokes tonight. So either way, you might laugh and you might not. But what I would suggest you do is like my video and subscribe to my channel, and maybe there'll be some more dad jokes, maybe not. Maybe we'll do some more digging in the basement, around the house. Who knows? Wait and see. Thank goodness for editing. Otherwise, this would take too long. This goes with another wheelbarrow unit that we have. You can put a bag around it and use it like this, and put leaves and lawnmower, grass clippings in, that kind of stuff. This is a 1970-ish bike rack. I think you need a metal bumper in order for it to actually work because of the types of clamps that are on it. But we'll hang on to it and see if anybody can use it. This is a fancy hose nozzle. Turn this on, plug it into your hose, sprays out this end. Kind of cool. The mystery bag. Ooh. This is a grease gun. You put grease in it, pull the handle back. I'm not going to do it because there's probably something in it. Push the handle down and out comes the grease out of the tube. Now I need to tell you about this bicycle. This is my bike. I bought this bike in 1984. It was one of the first generation mountain bikes. And I paid a whopping $411 for it, and I've still got it today. Now, it's a heavy bike. I was thinking maybe I'd get one of those add-on gas motors and stick it on. I could almost turn it into a legitimate motorcycle. It's 15 speeds, and we've done a lot of mileage together. So I'm going to hang on to this one because it's fun to ride, but it's a little heavy by today's standards. It's a fully steel frame. Now, my parents have one of those yard swings. Here's the armrests for it. The rest is in there too. We actually have one too, so we got 2 yard swings in 1 yard. So come on over and swing with us. That didn't sound right. Come on over and sit on our swing. This is supposed to be a family channel. We got more lawnmower bags in here than we do lawnmowers. 3 lawnmower bags. Make that 4 lawnmower bags. Rake. A little cedar. You know what you can use these for? A little tip for you. You can also get them with the handle that you squeeze. If you live in an area that gets snow, you can put driveway salt in one of these for melting the ice. And then you go like this and turn the handle and then pull back this little lever right here and do this and walk down your driveway, and it'll spread the salt just like it would if it was coming out of a salt truck. So I'm going to hang on to this one. It's a little bit bigger than some of the other ones that I have. Another car wash brush, but it's actually on a long stick for cleaning the siding of the house. This house has vinyl siding, and I know when I was a kid this used to get used for scrubbing the dirt and the grime off the siding of the house after winter. So I'm going to hang on to this because the brush is still pretty good. Now, I know I've already said this, but don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of stuff. It's always fun to see what kind of treasures you can find when you haven't been in this shed for... I haven't been in this shed for years and dug through it to see what's actually in it. I could open up a hardware store. I got 3 weed whackers here now. This is really quite the collection here. Now, when I say I haven't been in this shed for a long time, I haven't really looked through it in a long time, but I was in it pretty regularly because I used to cut the grass around here before we moved in. But if you dig into the corners, there's stuff that I haven't seen in here in 25 years. Now, it took me a minute to figure out what this was when I picked it up, but you know how you get those lawn chairs you can take to soccer games or places to sit and watch, or the beach. This one I think is a big lounger. I'm not going to open it right this minute, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Time to lounge around, I guess. This little guy's been here probably as long as I have. We used to call them bundle buggies, and or shopping carts or whatever. And you could go and get your groceries with them and take the bus with them and carry them all around. We used to use them around here for delivering newspapers as well if you were a kid and had a paper route. I often thought of, and my oldest son would just say, "Dad, no, you can't do that." Or he would just tell me it was a dumb idea. You know how when you go to Walmart or some of the other stores that have shopping carts and they always go off in different directions? Well, I know that there's people that go around and fix those carts and fix the wheels, but I thought I could go and do that And I could call myself the Boogeyman instead of the Boogeyman, the Boogeyman, and fix buggy wheels. But he said, Dad, don't do that. That would just be silly. I'm going to cart this off over here. If you're watching this and you've got some good dad jokes, put them in my comments. I'd love to hear them. Always looking for new material. Broom, broom, broom. Another broom. Could use another good broom around here. A really old sprinkler. The bottom of the bucket's actually got holes in it too, so I'm going to put it down before it lands on my foot. Whew. More framing for the canopy or for the swing. This is be considered almost an antique now. This is a really good pooper scooper from the dog that we had when I was a kid. A funny story about that dog. We had a little black Cocker Spaniel that we bought when I was about 11. And it was around 1982. And it was the year that my brother got married. And he moved out. Of course, he got married. And we got a dog right after that. And we always joked about that and said that my parents replaced him with a dog. And anyways, this was the pooper scooper that I used to clean up the yard every single winter, every single spring, and up and down before I cut the lawn. I'm going to hang on to this because we still have a dog. And I haven't found one that's quite as good as this one. And if this is 2020 and this is still here, it must be good. Big branch trimmer. That's pretty good. I'm going to keep that. My dad must have liked living on the edge too, because this is the third one of these that I found. Maybe it was my mom that liked living on the edge. It says right on it, Edger. It's still got the label on it. It's not that old. And here's a tiny shovel. I think I remember this having a handle that was about 6 feet long. And I guess the handle broke and they turned it into a trowel for gardening. Shovel's still in pretty good shape. So here's a big reveal. I have no idea what this is. Daddy Longlegs on the back. Makes a noise. Whew. Shall we open it? Uh-oh. I can't turn it too well. It's cat litter. I guess we kept this around in case we got stuck in the driveway in the snow, because they say sometimes you can use this to get yourself out of snow if your car's stuck. Otherwise, Mom and Dad never had a cat, so I'm not sure why this is here. Another big reveal. What's left of a wet cardboard case. I thought it was just a cardboard case. Oh, that's a little disappointing. Big case, tiny saw. Good thing I saw that. See what I did there? It's gooey, whatever it is, like a rubber mat or something, but it's definitely, there's the other end of it there. Definitely something I'm not going to keep. What's left of a pickaxe broke off. I think that's the way a lot of the handles are going to go on some of these tools, because some of these handles are pretty old. But this looks like itself is pretty old. It's pretty pitted with rust. So for my older viewers on YouTube, some of you may recognize this, I think, and you can let me know in the comments, but I think this is a coal shovel. And the houses around here, when they were first built, this house was built in the mid-50s, had coal furnaces. And I think this is probably a coal shovel from that time period. It's still in the shed, so I don't know what it was used for, but it's got a tiny handle on it. And It's got the sort of coal shovel looking on the end. I remember my brothers telling me a story of them watching the coal being delivered into the basement of the house and sitting in the unfinished basement watching it, and then coming upstairs after and having coal all on their faces, coal dust, because as it came down the chute into the basement, they got covered in the stuff. So I guess it was bath time for both of those guys. I guess I'm showing my age, aren't I? This here is heavy, but I'm going to pick it up for you. That is a ground tamper. I'm not sure if it's homemade. It might have been made at the steel company that my dad worked at, but this is about the size of a small pocketbook, but it weighs about as much as maybe 25, 30 pounds. And you just use it. I remember using it when we were putting sod down, but it's so small it takes forever. And you just go like this and pound the ground little bit by little bit to make it nice and hard. Okay, what else do we have in here? We're almost there. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Oh wait, that's the hole on the bottom of the shed. If I hadn't turned around and looked back at the door, I wouldn't have seen this bad boy. That's a tree trimmer. Looks like it needs to be sharpened, but it's a good branch trimmer. It's always good to branch out a little bit. Last two items in here. A wooden ladder. A really old wooden extension ladder. Complete with mouse droppings. Not sure where I'm going to put this. Guess I'll be having a shower tonight. I usually try and have a shower at least once a week. I'm kidding. Here's an old A-frame wooden ladder. I think I remember this when I was a kid. You know what? That's actually the last item in the shed. All right, so here's the inside of the shed, and if you look down at the floor, that's what's left of the picket fence that used to go around this yard when I was really young. But this picket fence has held up 45, 46 years on the floor, and has it held up? It's done okay until now, but it's seen its day, and you can look in what's left of this shed. See, when I talked about seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, that's what I was seeing, was that little crevice down there where the ground's been eaten away, and I'm sure that's where the mice are getting in. And there's a couple other spots in here, but this is what's left of an aluminum shed, vintage 1974, 73, somewhere around there. Used to have sliding doors. Now it's got doors with wood on the inside, and they open and close with hinges. So this brings us to the end of What's in My Mom and Dad's Shed. And through the power of editing, I will make it much shorter than what it was for me to actually take this stuff out and show you. I hope you enjoyed. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and keep watching Digging Deeper with Dan. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.